All right, we are live. And right now, I'm just making sure that I am live on Instagram. And there we go. All right, all right. So, this was a suggested topic. Thank you for the suggestion. If you remember who you are, I thank you so much for that. And okay, I'm just letting my son know to take that laptop away. Go right ahead. Okay. All right, here we go. Here we go. Fear. This is a very big one here on this journey, as many of you have experienced. And I'm sorry, my son is calling me. Hold on one moment. All right, my apologies for that. All right, so I want to begin. I'm thinking, where am I going to begin? Where am I going to begin with this? Because fear is so hard. I'm just adjusting my camera there. Um, I want to say this. The fear that comes up in the connection, and we're going to talk about your twin flame connection as well as the mission, because this was another topic too. So I figured I'll have it all tied in together because it really does. And hi, Kimberly. Okay. So I do want to share a little bit of my experience with fear. And this was before meeting my twin flame. With a lot of you, I know that the fear that you have, whatever fear you're experiencing, happened before meeting your twin flame, right? And perhaps you were trying to heal it, you didn't know you have to heal it, or anything like that. And then this connection comes and boom, it's just like in your face, right? So I was before this healing journey. I call it a healing journey. Matter of fact, while I'm thinking about it, I'm like, instead of twin flame journey, perhaps healing journey. But I use the title twin flame in just about everything I do. This is because of algorithms. So I'm found online and that kind of stuff. If I don't, I may or may not be, whether I put hashtags in or not. And so I put that there. But this really is a healing journey with yourself. Okay. Hi, Cecilia. And so fear, whoo, let's talk about this. And sharing my a bit of my background. I had came from what I call the bottom of the barrel, like not even the bottom of the barrel. It's like being at the bottom of the barrel would have been a blessing in the way that I felt in my mindset at the time. When I'm coming from the bottom of the bottom of the bottom of the bottom of the barrel, so deep, far down in the barrel, it was awful. It was awful. And this was especially while I was married with my karmic 10 years, the marriage was, and it was awful since the beginning. I will have to say there are moments that made it feel like we were going to make it. Some moments here and there. For the most part, it was horrible. And I had a lot of insecurities. And well, he wasn't fully open and available and things like that. So that really stirred up my insecurity. And it got to the point where I began to have panic attacks. I was crying at any random moment. I was just simply terrified of everything. I couldn't manage finances, like you name it. Everything just went downhill. At the time, I didn't know that's what happens when you're with a karmic. You're in a karmic situation. It's like your life goes downhill, right? This was before meeting my twin, before finding out narcissism exists and all this kind of stuff. Karmic connections take you on a different path than your twin flame journey does. All right. And I will explain. And it's not that either one of them don't stir up that one versus the other stirs up fear in you. They both do. They both will do that. However, in a twin flame connection, what usually happens is you have this awareness that this is your person and you trigger each other a lot. And so because you're like, this is my person, and boy, do I get triggered, let me try to figure this out. This is one of the things that even myself, I came to realize, like, if God says this is the one, we're going to figure this out. We are going to figure out this connection, right? And maybe some of you have reached that point when you realize that God's not playing with you and you are on this healing journey, and it's a journey for yourself. And hi, Chloe. So the bottom of the barrel, living life in fear. Honestly, I don't know how much I can say because I'm on YouTube here and I'm not trying to have my video banned, but just not wanting to do it all, not wanting to continue, having moments of those is what I experience, and constantly reliving that. And of course, meeting my twin flame, it was like, wow, felt like I met, I found gold. I was able to see everything that I've ever asked for in such a short amount of time. I'm like, I can't believe this is happening. And I actually cried about it. And so this was, if this happened to you, where you're just like, wow, this person gets me. Wow, I get to be myself. Like, are you serious? Like, once I was able to see me, because that's what happened to me. This was my experience when I met my twin. I saw me. I saw the parts of myself that I had completely forgotten about, that I let go of and didn't know it existed. Like, I completely did not think about those parts. Like, they just left my mind. Okay. Because I was such in the bottom of the barrel and had lost so much of myself in that connection through those years. I didn't know who I was anymore. And I was trying to get back to me, but meeting my twin made me realize that I barely even got started. And so it was like all my dreams, all my, like, everything that I wanted to be a part of, but didn't realize it, like being intuitive, being psychic, medium, all this came along afterwards, right? But going into spirituality, all this kind of stuff, because he showed me that. And I was like, I'm normal. For the first time in the longest time, I was like, I am normal. Oh my goodness. I'm exploring all of these, and I don't care who has anything to say about it. Like, I can't believe I'm seeing me and stuff like that. And with no judgment, nothing. It was such a wonderful experience. But then this is what happens in the connection. It's like one experience after the next happens, because at first is that bubble up phase. You're not thinking anything will go wrong, right? Everything feels wonderful, it's going great, and that kind of stuff. But then the fear, something happens that triggers the fear that is already inside of you. Okay. Not that your twin flame did this was already inside of you. Okay. And it's coming up for you to look at it. Being on this journey, regardless of whether it has to do with your twin flame or your mission, you're going to uncover so much of you that you didn't realize you needed to. And things like those, right? When you're fully aware of the connection, you accept it, and the I want to say the universe takes you on a ride. They take you on this. And I'm not talking about, well, I guess you can call it a roller coaster ride. I'm not talking about a merry-go-round. Like, if it was a merry-go-round, sure, on a roller coaster ride, like one of those. Okay. And it is for the purpose of healing those fears that come up inside of you. And I know many people, if this is you out here, no judgment. I've been there. I've been through so much of this stuff, right? That, excuse me, you may want to pin it on this person. I'm terrified of this connection, something like that. they did this, they did whatever it is that they did, but deep inside, you've got to be honest with yourself. This was one thing that I had to do over and over and over again, was to be honest with myself. Because in order to experience what the universe is putting together for you in this connection, if you're saying, I don't need this person, I don't need X, Y, and Z, I can go on, but deep inside, and I'm talking to the people who feel this inside, not the people who actually feel like they can move on. If you feel like it's not you, it's not for you, okay, that's fine. Again, no judgment. I've been there. I get it. And so deep inside, and with your awareness and everything that's going on, the signs, the synchronies, the messages, the very first step is to accept. It's like self-acceptance, accepting who you are, and of course your intuition too, right? But that's a whole nother video. We're talking about fear. Matter of fact, we could go into intuition next time. Okay. What is happening inside of you, your awareness within, comes from a soul level. Okay. We don't, we're not taught that a lot of our inner knowing is like, I feel this. I feel this connection. I feel this purpose that I have, my life's calling. I feel it is on a soul level, is coming from there. Okay. And because we're not quite in tune with our soul, it does take some healing. I have to admit that to be able to do that, fear comes up. Well, what if I'm wrong? What if it's not true? What if this is happening instead? What if all this is in the mind, right? Whether you want to call it the mind, the ego, your thoughts, to me, it's all the same. Your subconscious, all the same, comes up, because a lot of that doesn't align with your soul. So in order for you, and this is through my experience and observation and my intuitive awareness, and I'm not talking about what anyone else is saying out there and that kind of stuff. In order for you to really connect with what your soul is saying, you've got to get past that fear. You've got to get past that fear. There's just no other way around it. You can shove it down somewhere, act like it doesn't exist, tell yourself, I can't think this way. That is one of the, I want to say, techniques that does not work, is telling yourself, nope, I can't think like this. It works temporarily. Okay. It does. It works temporarily. And why? Some of you might be like, no, it really works for me. Okay, if it does, it's fine. Why? Because whatever the fear is showing you is still there, and it's going to find its way out eventually. Okay. So, in order to not bypass, in order to get through that fear, so you're more in connection with your soul, actually look at it. Okay. If there's one thing for you to take away from this video moving forward, like I say that, right? Take away everything from this video. But if you can't, there's one thing, is for you to give yourself permission to look into the fear. Okay. Give yourself that permission. Do not tell yourself, I can't feel this. Now, obviously, in the moment that fear comes up, it doesn't want your words. It's not going to want positivity, inner child healing. It's just not going to. Okay. And we're talking about ego. When the ego is saying things, it's not working. I can't see it. It's not here. I'm afraid. What are they going to think about me? Or even in a twin flame connection, my twin flame and I, people can't stand us together. What are they going to think? And all this kind of stuff. It comes up. Feel it. Just feel it. All right. If you try to heal it, just remember, as she said, to just feel it. Because in that moment, or maybe for yourself, because in that moment you'll be like, oh, I should think positive, and you're like, oh, this isn't working. Okay. In that moment, remember to feel it. Just feel it. It's okay. It's passing through. Okay. And so I have many strategies. I say many. We had several. And we discussed a lot of it in my group coaching, Be One With You, where Be One with, yeah, with you, in which we meet every Tuesday. Okay. Such a wonderful group. We put together, we shared a list with one another for overcoming fear. And so there's more than one techniques out there, but you're discovering what works for you. Okay. And if you can't discover what works for you, there's help available for you. And I will include, actually, I have included, I'm currently having a 40% off all my coaching programs. And I did put the link below. So if you're ready to get started, click on that link. And also, I've included funding options. I have that available. And you actually have up to 12 years to pay it off. Okay. So if you can't seem to process that fear on your own and figure things out on your own, you don't have to do it by yourself. You don't. There are effective techniques, skills, whatever word you want to use, that help you to instantly shift out of that. And if any one of you want to comment below why you would want to come out of that fear now and not later, I'd love to hear from you. If you want to say, like, why overcome it now? Not 6 months, 1 year, or anything like that. I'm going to dive more into this of how much my life has changed coming out of that fear. How much it changed. All right. So I see a comment. I have been so good, but recently the fear has taken over. After 3 months of physical separation, I'm scared of what I'm going to say or act if I see her because of new and growing resentment, I guess. This is a wonderful thing about the connection, in which, you might be like, oh, Sheen, it's not so wonderful. Like, these fears, right? Is that the fear that comes up in your connection is showing you what fears you have within connection. Okay. So the fear, you're scared of what you're going to say or act. This is a fear that's been inside of you. You can let me know if I'm wrong. I'm always okay with that because it has to align with you, Abram, okay, and everybody else. So when the fear comes up, rather than pinning it on the connection, like, I'm so scared, like, what's going to happen in this connection? Okay. Go within. Why am I scared? Why am I scared? Why am I scared of what I'm going to say or what am I going to act? What fear about relationship is coming up? Is it a fear of being judged? Uh, Fear of being unlovable? Fear that you won't be chosen? Rejection is a big one. A fear that you will feel rejected in this connection. So this is how you heal the fear in your connection, is by, I say, removing your twin flame from the sentence, because all they're doing is triggering something inside of you. Okay. And talk to it. Like I said, there's other ways too, but talk to it. I mostly do inner child healing. I love it. It's super quick. It's not what you know out there. And there's so many ways that you can use the inner child, well, use work together with the inner child to help with healing. That's just amazing. Okay. And so you'll have that conversation and discover, why is it there? Okay. Why is it there? Very important. Get to the root of it. Okay. Discover how to get to the root of it and work your way with healing it from there. Now you might be like, okay, I tried that. It comes up again. All right. Well, like I mentioned, find what works for you. Find what works for you. I will let you know what has worked the best for me was actually letting the fear know the truth. Okay? When it's ready to hear it. The fear, my ego, whatever you want to call it, I let it know the truth. Because what the fear does is it tells you lies. You know, that fear of what are you going to say or act, which has a basis of I am afraid I'll be rejected if I say or do the wrong thing. Okay? That rejection piece. All right. So you're letting piece, that rejection, if that's what comes up for you, know the truth. And what is the truth? Okay, what has your soul told you about your connection, about your twin flame, that in this moment that you're feeling afraid of what you're going to say or do, that your ego doesn't want to understand? What have you heard from your soul that your ego is not comprehending in this moment? Okay. Once I started to do that, so much change. So much change. And especially, and this is not just in my connection, but also my mission, my work with manifesting, especially with manifesting. All right. I'm going to get to this. I'm going to get to this because your mission is a whole part of this. And it's so wonderful. Like, I can't emphasize it. There's not enough words to say, like, what happens when you move forward in your purpose, in your life's calling, and you manifest. Do I want to say you do manifest, but you align your mission with you, with how you want to live, how you want to experience life. Like, you don't have to have it where, like, if some of you are already working in your purpose, you're working 80 hours a week, you don't have to do any of that. Okay. And you simply align, have everything aligned, and it feels so amazing. It feels so amazing. Like, how wonderful it feels not to work a job that you can't stand or you love, but it takes so much of your energy and stuff like that, and to live life on your own terms, to create whatever you want to create, to make whatever money you want to make. There's no cap to what you're making. Like, that's non-existent. Okay. You get to create what you want, charge what you want, and things like those, and know that you're worthy and that the student is ready with you too. Okay. So we'll get a little more into that. And all right, let's see. Gonna read a few more comments because I don't want to manifest my fear in 3D. That's why I want to transmute it now. Yes. Yep, you got it. That is worth healing. Absolutely. And for anyone who feels confused about that, I want you to take a moment. Do I want you to take a moment? Perhaps I don't want you to do that. We don't want to manifest it, right? So, okay, so just think about it, of a moment where you're like, I'm so afraid something's going to happen, and it showed up. That's the manifestation in the 3D. When I started learning about manifesting, healing ancestral wounds, because that happened in my marriage with my ex, lots of ancestral wounds, because I didn't want to experience the things that I've seen people from my country experience, and the things that they told me, they're like, oh, you just need to accept certain things in a marriage because that's what happens in a marriage. Cheating was normalized in a marriage, and I was like, no, I don't want that. I don't want that. And so I worked on trying to change that with words, right? So this is what happened. We use words like, I don't want it. You need to respect me. You need to show up this way for me. I need you to be like this, which is driven by fear. So anytime you're laying down the law in your connection, it needs to look like X, Y, and Z. You need to show up this way. That is all fear driven. Because if I don't control the situation right now, I fear that this will happen. So let me try to control it, right? But your thoughts and your energy are really what shows up in your reality. And so no matter how much you're like, I please, don't do this to me. Please don't. It just does not work because your thoughts, the fears that you're having, show up. Okay? Took me forever to realize that my connection with my ex was a manifestation of my mind the entire time. The entire time. And some of you might be like, well, but they're karmic. They're placed in your life to teach you a lesson. Yeah, absolutely. Teach about boundaries, self respect, self love, all this kind of stuff I could not do at that time. I didn't know how to do, how to focus on myself, how to put myself first, put myself up on a pedestal. All of this stuff I had no idea how to do. Like I said, I lost all of myself. And so there was a point I started realizing the thoughts that I was having, like, and you thought twin flame is the only one that mirrors, right? I would think, oh, I wish I can find someone who does better than you. Just a thought. And this person will actually do the thing that I would think and that kind of stuff. This is something I've seen before knowing anything about twin flames. Anything. That's why your thoughts, I'm telling you, your thoughts are something to really become aware of. And you choose the thoughts you want to create and avoid entertaining the thoughts you don't want to. Okay? It takes practice to do that because you've gone through so many years of being afraid. I did too. I did too. I'm not immune to any of this. Okay? So as I was healing, it was like one step forward, five steps back. Two steps forward, maybe eight steps back. It was just whew. And the universe was like, Isheen, get it together. Like, what is it with you? We're trying to get you out of this. I kept hearing, rise, queen, rise. I heard that so many times, rise. And there are times they're like, welcome, queen. They call me queen. I love it. They're like, welcome, queen. And then later, rise, queen. I just could not be consistent with all of this. But if you find that consistency is hard for you, keep going anyways. Keep going. One of the things I'm so grateful for, I'm very thankful about, is that I didn't give up on myself. Okay. I didn't give up on myself no matter how many times, like, I'm throwing in the towel and saying, universe, leave me alone. Just leave me alone. And the universe doesn't do that. Or if you want to say God, does not leave you alone. Okay, does not leave you alone. And that is a blessing in itself. You have an opportunity to keep going, to come out on top from all of this fearful stuff and live your best life without worrying about when the twin flame is coming in, because your twin flame will come in. That is something that's the work of the divine. Okay, the work of the divine. When your connection is ready, it happens. It just happens. And it's not to say you're going to go looking for it. Don't go looking for it. You'll, okay. I'm intuitive. I'm hearing. Focus on your healing and focus on other areas of your life while God puts everything together for you and your connection. Your inner knowing has let you know what's happening. And learning to trust that feeling, that's an important part of the journey as well. Fully surrendering, trusting within, and letting the divine do its work while you prepare yourself to I want to say manage fear to handle your fears, because fear is a part of life. It's a part of you. It's not going to go away. But when you dwell in it, I mean, it does. There's a lot that does go away. It does. Okay. But you learn how to work with it so that it's not affecting your reality in the way that you don't want it to. All right, so I'm going to move into mission a little bit. If you're about mission, you have a calling, you feel that you're ready, but you're not sure how to move forward. So before I do that, I'll look through the comments. Let me see. You mentioned true. All right, Abram, and how I can work on fear that he will have a child with another woman than me. I don't understand how I can look at this and find a root. Is it also fear of not being chosen? All right. So, oh my, I'm finding my words, okay? Because I'm not manifesting anything for you or anyone out here or anything I wouldn't want to manifest for myself either. Is this an inner knowing? Do you have dreams about this? Or is it from ego and from past experiences, for example, or something you have observed? Because there is a difference. There is a difference. And if you're not fully sure, ask yourself when you're not in fear. Okay. If you're asking when you're in fear, you're probably going to get responses that the ego will create. So you don't want to do that. In a calm moment, ask. All right. Because, no, I won't say it. Is it inner knowing? I was going to say it happens when people are aware of it previously, but I'm just going to leave it like that. I'm just going to leave it like that. Okay. I I talk to lots of twin flames and I hear different things and that kind of stuff. This is what's coming to mind, is to surrender to whatever. All right, so you work on the fear. Let's talk about this a little bit. Work on the fear that you will have another child, with another woman than you. Why? Why are you afraid? Um, and this is a question to ask within. So don't look for it in the mind. It sounds like your mind is saying fear of not being chosen, which is a part of it too, yes. But what else is there? And this is something for you to ask yourself on a soul level, okay? Why are you afraid? I did a post on this. I'm going to share it on YouTube. I did a post on Instagram and Facebook with this, where I gave this exercise, but it was with a different question, like, why would you want to balance your energy? In this case, ask whatever question you have and hear it from inside of you. You're going to be impressed with the response, because your answers, they're not up here. We keep trying to get them up here. They're not up here. It's in your body. There's a reason why that's happening. Your soul is letting you know something. So connect within and you find the answer there. And if you're doing this during this live, just let me know if you did it. If it's not during the live later on, just let me know. If you want to message me personally, send me an email to let me know what you uncovered. Okay. And if it surprises you. And so my twin flame randomly broke no contact after a year and a half by making a fake account, then asked for my number again because I deleted her contact and she was aware on WhatsApp. You know, the fear of being rejected is a tough one. So it sounds like that's what your twin flame is going through. It's either that or there's something in the energy of the connection. They're not sure. She doesn't know quite what to do with it and all this kind of stuff. Um, I want to say, have compassion. All right. And again, your answers and your soul, this is what I'm hearing about that. I am releasing in the future, this is up and coming, a course for runners. I'm going against the grain. I don't care what anyone says. Oh, you're a twin flame runner, is unaware and doesn't know, and all this kind of stuff. I truly believe I was on data and on the phone and it still cut off. All right. I'm getting better internet soon. We have two providers, and I'm just going to that the provide the trusting one that I had for some years and that kind of stuff. So I will read the comments. Um, where was I with this? Okay, so I'm coming up with a course going against the group. Twin runners are out here getting twin flame information too. I don't care what anyone says. They're out looking for information, trying to figure out this connection. Okay, or they're healing themselves. And here's what happens when this is not for you to tell your person, here's a course for you. Don't do that. You will create such a push energy. Be an observer. And maybe you can put the course in near them somehow, or you just can't sneak around. You can't sneak around this. So I'm just gonna say the course is for those who can't understand why they're running from the connection, why they're afraid of the connection, how to deal with the fear inside of them, and they're seeking information. Let's put it that way. Because I certainly wouldn't want you to try to be sneaky or anything because you're dealing with yourself. And that sneaky behavior, no, people can sense sneakiness. Okay. You really want to be authentic in every single way. And by you healing yourself, you can heal this connection a lot. You don't need to have your person invest in a course that you're going to give to them and that kind of stuff. I don't recommend that. But this is for those who are out here who are like, I hear about chasers, but I keep running from this connection and I don't know how to stop doing that. Okay, so that's coming out. And I'll thinking about this, I'll have a video. And if someone can remind me in the comment or message me, um, I'll do my best to remember. I'll have a live session for those who are running from the connection to have an understanding of it. Because the fear of being rejected, it feels like a disease. Okay, it feels like a disease in which it feels debilitating, and it tells lies. The ego says things like, but what if they reject me? What if I'm making this up? What if they don't really want me to be with me, no matter how wonderful you were to them? It tells lies. Okay, happened to me where I was like, what if he leaves? And the universe is like, Asheen, you left. And kept repeating it and kept repeating it to me because my mind kept asking, what if, and things like that. It's real hard. The journey is hard on runners. I know a lot of people are like, I don't see how it can be. It is. It is. Okay. And even though it's a mirrored, because if this person's running somewhere in you, there was something, some sort of running, some sort of thought manifestations, something. Okay. Not a blame thing. This is information. But I truly believe because you're helping each other when even when the other person discovers like what is happening inside of them, it helps the connection. It really is just one. So the healing you do helps, the healing they do helps, and then you have that oneness ascension together. Okay, and so we'll see how this goes. All right, and again, I'll read some more comments. Oh yeah, and so there's a way to handle your twin flame coming in. Okay. Um, you hear about balancing energy. I like to explore connection because it's a little bit more than that. Connection, how it's like, hmm, how you interact with this person in a way that allows them, that gives them room for growth. There's your growth, but they're coming into their own too. And perhaps there's healing you've done already. And so you're able to hold space, like be of this container, but it's more of connection, of and how do I describe this? It's like if your twin is an ego and how you can navigate that. When anyone is an ego, how you can navigate it. You really can't take offense to anything when someone's an ego or having fear and begin to pin it on yourself or say, what am I doing wrong? Or go into a fight or flight, like you're fighting and saying, no, that's not, you can't do that. You just really can't do that. So there's a way to navigate the connection while you're a twin flame who seems to be afraid because they're hiding in a fake account, and that kind of stuff is coming into your physical reality more and more. Okay. She kept saying she's extremely bored and wants my number while being engaged with someone else. Oh, okay. Well, boy, I wish I read that. So this is a soul thing. Okay. This is a soul thing. She's engaged with someone else. What is your soul saying? All right. Because one of the things I'm aware of with this connection, this is just in general. So I really want you to connect with your soul to get the answer, is that when you engage, not engage like wedding, but when you interact with your twin flame who's engaged to someone else, this let me reword it. It helps when you don't interact while this person is still with someone else. Okay. This is just what I've observed that helps in the connection. But again, you're going with your intuition. Just because it pushes that person to um, do what they need to do. Because as long as there is someone else in the picture, there's still that wishy-washy. Like, oh, one day I'm choosing you, next day, I don't know, maybe it's this person, maybe it's you. And no one wants that. Okay. And I'm not blaming her for it. Connections are hard. Ending connections can feel hard to do. Not that connections are hard. Ending them can feel really hard to do. There's guilt that happens, or if there's a strong pull, there's a history together, if there's other people involved and all this kind of stuff. So it creates this, I don't know, today I'm choosing this, tomorrow I'm choosing that. It could, but your soul will let you know that, all right, what to do to navigate forward that's going to benefit your connection in the long run, not the short run, in the long run. All right, thoughts are things. Yes, they are. Yes, they are. Love it, Queen. Thank you, Laura. And hi. Oh, wait, that was Mona who said thoughts are things. Thank you for that. And high vibe freak, boom, shake, shake, shake the room. I made it. You're here. And after my screen blacked out too, but you're here. And do you think the twin flame is concerned about when to come back in? Do they have fears? Yes, they do. Yes, they do. Okay. And it there is a fear of, oh my God, I hurt this person. What are they going to think about me? Or is the same thing going to happen in our connection? I'm afraid. Or I feel like I'm making things up. Is this for real? Do they really want me? Because sometimes you're like, I don't know if they want me and they're mirroring this. I don't know if they want me and that kind of stuff, right? So there's mirroring that goes on. There's different reasons for it. I'll have to explain this a little bit more. Being intuitively guided here, is that you have awareness of your connection and your person has awareness too. It may not be to the level that you're aware of. All right. When reunion is coming into place, that awareness does intensify. There isn't this, oh, I don't know what I'm doing. We have intuition. there's what I call one truth. Okay. There's one truth. And what I mean by that is, like, how is it all many psychics can tap into this one truth? It's just one truth. So as long as there's intuition, there's a connection to that truth. You have it, this person has it. Okay. And they're guided into coming back. Now, if they're stuck in ego, they have to see it, they don't know how to connect well with intuition. There's this fear of, what if I'm wrong? What if they don't really, whatever it is, okay? Because our mind likes to create all this negative stuff. So yes, I truly believe that. And it depends on how your connection had ended too. It really does. If there was a lot of pain in there, if their authentic self, they never really expressed themselves, or they saw you do something and interpret it as something else, which happens a lot. Like, for example, you could take a picture with a male friend and post it on social media, right? And your twin's like, oh, they moved on. Maybe they moved on. I don't know. I'm giving some suggestions there. And I'm not saying for many of you to say, okay, I'm taking that picture off of social media. I'm not saying that at all. Okay. But yes, I truly believe that. Spiritual question: why does our soul make us go through lifetimes of trauma just so that we have accumulated all this fear in this lifetime that nearly kills us just for us to transmute it? I'm a believer that the fear, and mm, you may have a different answer. This is just with me. The fear came from many lifetimes. Okay. Not just one. It's like, if some people actually come into this lifetime and even as a baby, they're afraid, and they grow up afraid, and they have no idea why they're afraid, because they weren't exposed to whatever it is that they're afraid of. Okay. And so your ego is created to help you heal this within. Okay. And it's all you. It's all you, obviously. When you treat the ego as separate, even though it's not really separate, but you do, and you use the information the ego is saying, it helps you to heal that within. Okay. We're talking about soul growth and ascension. Soul growth, evolution, ascension. All right. This is what's happening. So the fear is out of alignment. It's not a part of who you truly are. Some of you might be like scratching your head about this. All right. This is information that came to me in sessions that the universe supported through videos and all this kind of stuff, that I came to understand what's happening here. And so it's been doing this. It's been doing this since previous lifetimes, where you're presented, some fear comes up and you're healing it. The thing is, in this lifetime, it's a new earth. We're doing things differently. Like, we're really connecting with ourselves on a soul level. And so much of this is being pushed out, sometimes at a faster rate, through ego. Okay, which is a reflection of that thing in you. And so you work towards healing that. Hopefully that made sense. Um, so the fears that we accumulate in this lifetime, for me, I feel like it wasn't just in this lifetime. There are experiences that happens in this lifetime that repeats whatever lessons that wasn't learned previously. Okay, you learn this lesson, it just doesn't show up again. It doesn't show up. And if you're meant to go into the next lifetime, you'll be smooth sailing because you have healed these things. And that, if you're meant to show up in the next lifetime, well, you don't know. Ask your soul. They say when twin flames come together, that's it. That's the end. I say, ask your soul. Enough of this, like, taking on information outside. I mean, even the things I say, you take what resonates with you, right? What resonates with your soul, but connect within to get your truth. Okay. I manifested third party. So now I'm afraid next step is a child. It's not inner knowing. Okay. Yes. This is, you know, reach out. We can talk about this. Okay. Um, I love to give you some more tips on working with the fear. All right. And some of you might be like, okay, how about give these tips now? There's just too many. There's too many to describe, and you find what works for you. You know, some people connect with God. Some people, well, I truly recommend that. Um, what I find that works the most is really connecting with that fear. Find out why it's there, and tell it what your soul knows, because the fear doesn't. It's like it doesn't want to believe it. Okay, it doesn't want to believe it. So my inner knowing happened. I had a dream seeing him walk in my neighborhood, and he moved there. He is living here with his girlfriend. Okay. Yeah. Inner knowing, your inner knowing. And that's a whole nother video there too. I told her that she has my info. It did not change, and she can contact me there. All right, if she still has it, you know, sometimes we switch phones and then it's gone. So if she still has it. All right, I see a lot of questions here. All right, I'll get through them. I always dreamed and had premonition that would have a baby girl with my DM. I will be 42 in March, and we're currently in our longest 3 year separation. Lots of twin flames are having premonitions about babies. And no lie, there was a cloud. I wish I took a picture of it. A cloud shaped like a baby going past my window. I was like, universe, really? Universe, really? And so, you know, surrender is the word for it, I guess. Surrender to the inner knowing. So I want to be able to experience that. Okay, truly get that. For me, this fear about having a child, it will be a barrier forever. And I'm in age 37. Time to think about family. It's my last call, and he's in the relationship. I know if he would. Okay. We got to take care of that fear. Take care of the fear and trust your inner knowing and observe. Okay. Those are my recommendations there. But number one is that fear. Get to the root of it and work on healing it. And third party connections, they are a manifestation. So when you take a look at why they're there, you know, it's both both people manifesting this person. This person has something to do with this connection. So you take a look at what is it within you, like whatever fear that's happening, and you shift the energy off your person, and they begin to drift away from that third party. That's what happens. As long as there is, not to scare you, there's a fear, what if it manifest. And they are if they're fighting the connection because their inner knowing is like, oh no, wrong person, wrong person, wrong person, it makes it really hard to fight that connection and to be with inner knowing. So you work on that fear, connect with your inner knowing, and allow and receive the changes. Okay. My son from my previous karmic marriage to a narcissistic is 13 and is still begging for a brother and sister. Oh, your son knows. Your son knows. All right. So my wish for you is that it can happen. And he's an overthinker. Hi, Yasheen. Would you interpret constantly see my twins' birthday as a sign of them thinking of me and a reunion drawing near? I'm not holding my breath, so no push energy. Would love your input. You know my answer. Whatever your soul says. So I will say, if this is what you're getting, then that's what it is. That's what it is. What is the reason we met in this life and we're aware of twin flames? If not for a reunion, is it possible that there is a different outcome? There is not a different outcome. If you feel it, there is not a different outcome. If you know your intuition says and is guiding you in everything, that is the outcome. The ego says, well, what if? All right. You knock off that ego. There's no other outcome. Okay. I just had to put it like that. And thank you, Asheen. I don't believe in karma. I believe we manifest everything. If you say, if I put good out, I'll get good back, that's you manifesting that. If you give a reason for for it to exist, it will exist. Absolutely. Yes, it will. I am a believer of karma through my own experience. So I share all this stuff from my experience. The universe came in when I was with that soulmate, um, teaching me karmic lessons, and was like, "Esheen, learn your lesson. When are you going to learn that lesson and to clear this stuff?" Right. So I actually receive messages around those. But whether there is, there isn't, you're right. If you give it a reason to exist, it exists. So told her that I want to talk and speak my truth to the connection I feel with her. She said that she would serve me more than that would serve me more than it would serve her, and she fears the imbalance of energetic reciprocity. Be an observer. Don't explain. That is your hint right there. If you want to explain and she's like, I'm not really hearing this, and if this is what you're implying and that kind of stuff, that's when you're like, throw that key out and become an observer instead. Because what I realize is once you let that go and you're observing, your inner knowing just unfolds, and that's it. And you can be like, ha ha, I won. In your mind, you can be like that when you are an observer of the thing that's unfolding, okay? Because she will follow your subconscious thoughts. That's what she does. All right. And so much time has gone by, but I did say I want to talk about mission. Take a look at your fears there. Because your fears, if you feel like you have a calling, okay, your fears are holding you back from your blessings. I kid you not. Your fears are holding you back from your blessings. Your soul, which is not going to give up on you, is going to keep knocking at the door like, you need to get this done. You need to get this done. Okay. Why are you afraid? Why? Really sit with yourself, ask yourself this question, connect with that fear and talk to it. Because if you have a purpose to be of service, to assist others, to assist animals, to assist corporations, large businesses, whatever the case is, you are the one who can do it for your audience. Just you, or primarily you, because we learn from different places, right? Primarily you are meant to shift and make big changes in somebody's life. Okay. Someone needs your message since yesterday. One of the things with mission is that we sometimes, I want to say, we look at ourselves. I don't know if I can do this. I don't know. I don't know. Shift this focus to who needs my message out there, because someone out there is waiting to hear my message. I have so many people. I mean, I can go on. Everything is inside of you. I truly recommend connecting with the fear. It is such a wonderful journey. And working with others, you know what they say, the teacher becomes the student as well. So it's like you're teaching and they're learning and you're learning from them. You learn from each other, and it helps you to experience so much growth within, and it helps you to uncover the person you truly are. And I get it, like, advertising is scary, marketing feels scary, being in front of a camera feels scary, and all this kind of stuff. But when your soul keeps knocking on the door, okay, your inner knowing, the universe says hello, God is like, you got work to do. You got work to do. So take a look at that fear. And I promise you, when you take the step in, when you take those steps forward, your life's going to change. When you become more and more and more of the person that you are, your life changes. All right. Hold on. All right, thanks. My son was letting me know about Instagram. I might have been cut off from Instagram. All right. And yes, it's scary. Going into mission teaches you not only about yourself, about manifesting, showing up for you too, not just your client, showing up for you. Self-care, my goodness, is such a big part of it. Taking care of yourself, aligning with your intuition, with your soul. You're letting your soul guide you. Like everything I do is guided. Everything I create, well, is guided. And also the universe supports, provides support. I did my 14-day challenge, which I changed into my twin flame course. I made a bigger program instead, less of a challenge. And even though the videos are forever yours and stuff like that, but when I did it, I didn't have a plan. I promoted it because the universe was like, let's go, Isheen, and then provided me with all the information that I needed to create that course. Such a wonderful course. Such a wonderful course. Okay. You can do this. And there's so much more that goes into this. So I will have a masterclass. I have plans, guys. I have lots of plans for the business owners. Let's do it. All right. Let's get you out there. And some of you are probably still like, Isheen, I don't know. No, forget that. I'll uncover all the different areas that are holding you back, because it's not just you, it's your environment, the people you're around, all this kind of stuff, right? And get out there and live your best life. All right. I promise you, it gets better. It may be a bit of a fight. You've got this fight in you. When you believe it, at first, you might not have quite a fight. Maybe it's not totally there. But when the universe keeps knocking at your door, and you're seeing the effects that you have on people, and you're hearing their stories and how they're struggling, boy, does that build a fight. It truly does. But you got to put that foot in the puddle. We'll start with a puddle before the ocean, before you're swimming in the ocean. Okay. Even if you can't swim, you'll be swimming. You're like, okay, I'm doing this, and that kind of stuff. All right. So there'll be more on this, because this is your time to step out of the matrix, get out of that job that you can't stand, that soul sucking job, because it's sucking your soul, and you're showing up being fake all day with people you don't really want to be around, right? And you're tired, you're exhausted, you just want a day off, you can't even have it, or whatever the case, can't vacation when you want to. Come out of that and live your best life, being of service, following your heart's calling to assist others who are helping you as well. All right. And the most spiritual thing you can do is be yourself. You are here for a reason. You won't find out what that reason is by looking outside of yourself. Your interests hint at it. Follow your interests. I love it. I love it. Go within, everybody. Go within. Whatever information you hear, go within and make it make sense for you. Make it make sense, not with your mind, with your soul, with your body. Why would you want that for yourself, and discover your answers? All right. I appreciate all of you for hopping on tonight. And again, I put the link below. I'm having 40% off my coaching sessions today and tomorrow. Is just for 2 days. And I'll catch you next time. Bye.